How's it going, guys? JP here, and welcome to another MMA predictions video. First off, if you can't tell, I'm a little bit sick, so my voice is all out of whack. My nose is stuffed up, and I just sound like crap. I apologize, but I'm gonna do this video anyway. So we're doing a MMA predictions video here. This is gonna be for the Ultimate Fighter finale. Team Tate versus Team Rousey. This is the 18th season, I believe, of the Ultimate Fighter. There is some installments out of the U.S. like TUF Brazil and TUF Smashes, which are TUF Smashes I really enjoyed. So the Ultimate Fighter has been around forever, and there's multiple incarnations of the series in different locations. There's a TUF China on the way and a TUF Canada versus Australia or whatever. Which I'm actually looking forward to that one. I'll definitely check that one out online or something if they don't air it in the U.S. But I'm a huge fan of TUF. I've been watching it since season 2. I did see the finale of season 1, but I haven't really been watching this show since season 2. Um, and I've liked it the whole time. I mean, there have been bad seasons like the Brock Lesnar season and the heavyweight season, season 10, I believe, with Kimbo Slice. Both of those seasons leave a bad taste in my mouth. The Bisping Mayhem Miller season was pretty bad. But for the most part, I've enjoyed the show the whole way through. Um, and the last 2 seasons, in my opinion, have been the best since around season 5. In my opinion, season 5 is absolutely the best season of TUF. It had everything. It had house drama. It had weight cutting, which is my favorite thing about this favorite kind of topic in the show. I love to see these guys struggling through weight cuts and preferably I like to see them succeed or overcome the huge obstacle. But it's just an interesting thing that I never really get to look at, have the fly on the wall access to is a fighter's weight cut, and I find it just very interesting psychologically what it's doing to them. But anyway, that's besides the point. I love TUF. TUF 17 and 18 were fantastic. I'm looking forward to Frankie Edgar and BJ Penn season. But yeah, so let's talk the main finale here. I'm gonna do the main card only. There isn't a whole lot of fighters on the preliminary card that I'm super familiar with. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with the main card. First up, we have women's bantamweight 135 pounders Roxanne Modafferi versus Raquel Pennington. Raquel disappointed me very much in the final fight on the Ultimate Fighter. I think she's way better than what she showed. She just did not get her offense off. She just kind of reacted to what Jessica Rakoczy was doing. It just was like, it was very disappointing. Roxanne is such an awesome person. I have always paid attention to her a little bit in women's mixed martial arts just because she looks different. She does not look like a typical fighter. It's almost like fascinating that this girl is a fighter. Because of her personality and just her looks. She is a very happy, awesome person. Just truly an interesting person to watch and listen to. And you just can't. How can you not like her? Who has seen her on interviews or anything and doesn't like her? I don't understand how that's possible. She's just so nice. Um, Unfortunately, I don't think she has that that killer instinct to fight. It just doesn't seem like she has it in her. Um, but yeah, I think that I could see this fight going 2 ways. I could see Raquel trying to take Roxanne down or something, and Raquel or Roxanne getting some kind of triangle choke or something like that. But I think that it's going to end up Raquel is going to TKO Roxanne Modafferi, which is going to be sad to see. So yeah, that's my pick. I'm picking Raquel. Second fight on the card, we have women's bantamweights Jessamyn Duke versus Peggy Morgan. This is a weird fight. Both tall fighters. Jessamyn maybe a little bit more skinny. Peggy a little bit on the thicker side. I think technically Jessamyn is the far superior fighter. But I think she can be hit with maybe some heavy hands of Peggy. I think Jessamyn's gonna maybe use her knees and kicks as her advantage and win the fight by decision. Um, Next up, we have the finale for the men, and it's Chris Holdsworth versus David Grant, men's bantamweight. Both of these, I like both of these fighters probably the most out of all the males on the show, so it's cool to see both of these guys make it to the final. I just think Chris Holdsworth is a better fighter, and he's going to win. I do think David Grant has the power to knock him out, and is going to look for that, but I think Chris Holdsworth, his technical ability is just going to be the deciding factor. Possible submission. I could actually see maybe David Grant rocking Chris Holdsworth and dropping him, and then getting submitted somehow, being over. Um, not being cautious enough in the guard. So yeah, after that we have women's bantamweight final: Julianna Peña versus Jessica Rakoczy. Rakoczy is a accomplished boxer. Julianna has this just fire in her that just has so much heart and stuff. Really cool to see her performance on the show. Honestly, Rakoczy did not impress me too much throughout the whole show. In her last fight against Raquel, her boxing and footwork were on point. But I just don't see her doing much in the world of mixed martial arts. I'm gonna pick Juliana on this one. Although I will say that Jessica Rakoczy is probably the worst matchup um, out of the uh, out of the final four women for Juliana. I think that she would have had an easier matchup against Raquel. Um, Jessica could probably, I think she's also undersized. I don't think Jessica Rakoczy is a true bantamweight. I think she might be a little bit smaller. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with Juliana on this one. And then finally we have lightweights Gray Maynard and Nate Diaz. This is a cool fight. This is the third time they're fighting. Their original fight was on TUF Season 5, which is, like I said earlier, my favorite Ultimate Fighter season. I think that this is just such a hard fight to pick. I think Maynard is a bad matchup for Diaz, kind of. If Maynard uses his wrestling, I think he's a bad matchup. But from what I remember, the last fight, it's been years since I've seen it. I don't remember Maynard using his wrestling too much, and I can't remember really. But there's so many factors in this fight with both these fighters coming off TKO losses, KO losses. You have Nate Diaz getting knocked out by Josh Thompson, and you have Gray Maynard losing to TJ Grant via knockout. And it's just one of those things where it's like, how are these two top fighters gonna bounce back from these losses? Um, I think honestly Diaz has the better shot to bounce back. I think Maynard um, might choke here. Man, there's also a bunch of other elements at play. This is the third time they're fighting. They're probably changing stuff up from their previous bouts against each other. Um, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with Diaz. I think Diaz is gonna do enough to get the win. So yeah, that's gonna be my pick. Nate Diaz. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.